Go for Lakeisha.
What's good, Ignatius, niggas? I ain't gonna be on here too long. Cause I know the games, but one of the games about to go ready to start. Supposed to have been on here a lot sooner. One of the games, but a couple of stuff ain't coming up. But yeah, I just wanted to cover a couple of things that we seen. First and foremost, we see that what's good, SG. We see that Victor Wembanyama has just became the first ever unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. I would say very deservingly so. So I want to take a few minutes to talk on that. Then, of course, we got another topic that I don't want to talk about, but I think it should be talked about, and that's how, unfortunately, Oklahoma City dominated my Phoenix Suns. What's up with your Gosa? Yeah, they beat the hell out of us last night, despite all the shit I was talking. But to be quite honest, I didn't expect us to win, but I was just hoping and praying, wishful thinking. And then we got the Magic upset the Pistons yesterday, which is one I particularly didn't see coming, didn't think that would be a thing. What's up with you, Nathaniel? Yeah, but I didn't see the Magic upsetting the Pistons like that, and I got a couple reasons why. I'll get into that when we get there. And lastly, we're gonna briefly discuss the games that's gonna take place today, and make a few predictions on the outcome of today's games. So that's my little 4 topics that I'm gonna go through today. Very quickly. You said Cade still had a good game. See, I actually didn't pay attention to any of the game at all. So I'm completely unaware, and I haven't looked at any highlights, stats, or anything. So I don't know what was the reasoning for it. Perhaps I'll try to catch game 2 so that I can become a little more familiar of what's going on with them. But yeah, so it's crazy. Victor Wembanyama, first unanimous. I put MVP up here. It don't supposed to be MVP, so my bad. It's supposed to be Defensive Player of the Year. If you see in my title, it says Defensive Player of the Year. Although on my lineup you see here it says MVP. It should say DPOY. Yeah, that's my mistake. I was kind of rushing and putting it up there and didn't notice it. But anyways, first unanimous defensive player of the year, because we know the first unanimous MVP was Steph Curry. Now, I don't think he's going to win MVP. I was going to discuss that briefly as well. MVP more than likely is going to go to Shea, and in my opinion, it's deservedly so. Yeah, he played well pretty much for the entirety of the year. The highest net rating, offensive net rating in the league. They won the most games. He played good on both sides of the field. Wemby, he barely made the threshold to even make an end for for most valuable defensive player of the year too. Really both of them. He barely made it in. He only played 65 games. And then on top of that, some of the times Wemby was actually coming off the bench for like a good portion of the time. He was coming off the bench. So with all of that being said, I don't think he should be MVP. Defensive player of the year, unquestionably. Yes, he deserves that. So delete this account. I'm glad you brought up Jaylen Brown. So my next question that I was just getting ready to ask is, I seen a post that a bunch of people were saying Luka got snubbed because he didn't make the final three for MVP voting. So with that being said, who did make the final three? Is it Jaylen Brown, the other one? Because I'm pretty sure Shea and Wemby are the other two. Who is the third? Yeah, more than likely it will be Spurs and OKC in the conference finals. More than likely. Both of them look pretty damn dominant right now. But yeah, this nigga Wemby is different. I gotta say. Defensively, because have we seen people get more blocks per game than Wemby? Yes. But so Cade is in it. Got you, Cade. All right. I could see that. They were number one in the East and stuff like that. So yeah, it makes sense. But anyways, have we seen more people average more blocks per game than Wemby? Yes. Olajuwon actually almost averaged 5 blocks per game 1 year. However, there's a difference. Like we know that when Olajuwon's time, when he was, playing, the game was played inside out. So obviously, if you're playing inside out, most of the shots are being taken closer towards the basket. That makes it easier to get a block shot. Not saying that, he had it easy, but it is easier to block a shot that's closer to the basket, especially when you are a center, right? So with that being said, I think it's very remarkable what Wemby has been able to accomplish because he actually gets blocked shots at the three-point line. You don't see centers, during the older time blocking shots at the three-point line too often. That's rare. Now, another thing, granted, since the game was played inside out, the centers didn't have to be outside like that. Also, they didn't take nearly as many three-pointers. So I'm not saying that Wemby is a better defensive player than the other, centers and stuff from back in the day. That's not what I'm saying. But, I'm just giving the context that, the difference between the eras. But yeah, it's absolutely remarkable what Wemby is able to accomplish with his shot blocking ability and just his ability overall to alter shots in the league. Like it's so many times that, you'll see a team trying to run a break or something like that, right? They'll try to run a break. If they're playing the Spurs, if Wemby is anywhere near the facility, they'll double back. They'll, they'll circle back and be like, yeah, nah, Wemby is by the rim. Or Wemby is somewhere nearby. Or, just like, even if he doesn't get the block shot, if he's anywhere near it, he can alter the shot enough to be like, yeah, this motherfucker almost blocked me. So, he's actually one of those rare players that can control the game with his defense. And there's not too many players in the league anymore. I mean, in fact, I would say we probably haven't really seen this period in a long time. A player that has been able to dominate a game with just his defense. Because defense goes a long way. And speaking of defense, I'm going to go ahead and head to my next one because, like I told you, I'm not going to be on here very long because I know the next game is coming. One of the games is going to come on, and I want to, give people time to go and enjoy the game, and I want to actually watch it myself. Also, for anyone that might be watching on UAN TV, subscribe over to the UAN Hoops channel. I'm gonna go ahead and post it in the chat really quick because eventually I'm going to be only doing NBA content on the UAN channel, the UAN Hoops channel, not the UAN TV channel. Only reason why I'm still putting it on here right now is to expand my reach because that's a bigger channel. And with how the algorithm works, with me putting it on a bigger channel, it'll push it out to more people to see it, opposed to a smaller channel. But eventually, once I'm able to get this one to a certain size, I'm going to let all of the material go on the UAN Hoops channel. So here is the link. I'm going to put it down here for you guys to go ahead and subscribe over to that channel. But yeah, so that's what I was saying. So on to the next topic. We have Oklahoma City. Now, I myself is somewhat of a fan. I would say I'm a fan of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander right now is making the case to try to make me start hating on him. You beat our ass like that one more time, nigga. I don't like that. You can win the game, but don't be trying to dominate us like this. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take it and say the reason why we got our ass beat so bad is because we was a bit tired. We just got through playing 2 play-in games, and we were just fresh from another game. We didn't really have time to rest. OKC been resting all, for nearly 2 weeks. So they came fresh in home court advantage and dominated us. Game 2 is coming Wednesday. We get 2 days of rest. We get to strategize a little bit. Because think about it. Game 1, we didn't get to do nothing. Because we played Friday. And then Friday night, with the game being Saturday, we had to immediately go ahead and fly to Oklahoma City and prepare for the game Saturday. So that means if we had a practice Friday, it had to have been a very light practice. They may have watched some film or something like that. But, they didn't really have time to prepare for, the game. Plus, they may have been tad bit fatigued. Now, this might be sounding like I'm making a little bit of excuses, and maybe I am with glass niggas. But the facts are we didn't have much time to prepare. We didn't get any rest. So game 2, which is taking place Wednesday, hopefully we see a different outcome and we can actually compete. Even if we lose, let it be competitive, people. Like, it's like, obviously Jalen, he didn't have a good game. Dylan didn't have a good game. Devin, nobody really. Shit. None of our players were able to get going. But most importantly, the most important thing when dealing with Oklahoma City, you cannot turn the ball over. Them motherfuckers capitalize off turnovers so good. Like, they are so good at capitalizing off you turning the ball over. They go off on that break. And of course, like I always say, I've been saying this for a little while, their defense is so damn good, bro. I swear it's like some kind of way they are allowed to have 6 players on the floor. Even though it only be 5, it be seeming like it be 6, bro. Because it don't matter how much you pass that ball, it's still somebody on you. And then next thing you know, somebody then deflected the ball. It's a turnover. They going up the damn court. And like, man, Oklahoma City is a monster. I gotta say. And before we get off this topic, I want to touch a little bit more on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Dude is the truth. He didn't even have a good game. That's the crazy part. We actually did a pretty good job at containing SGA last night. But their defense was still so intense that, the rest of the team was able to score off turnovers, points off turnovers, and then, of course, they made their shots when they were open. So they did well when it comes to that. But like Shai, I do believe he's going to get the MVP award this year. I think he deserves it. So that would be back-to-back MVP. If he also manages to win the title this year as well, and of course, more than likely, he will capture another Finals MVP, we're going to have to start having some uncomfortable conversations about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We're going to have to start putting them in categories that, a lot of people probably wouldn't want to put him in. They may be saying it's too early or anything like that, but you got to think about this. We haven't seen anyone win back-to-back Finals MVPs and MVPs since LeBron James in 2012, 2013. LeBron did it back-to-back. They won 2012, and then they won again in 2013. He also won MVP both of those years. So Shai would be the first one to accomplish that in, over a decade, right? And on top of that, the difference between them, what do you mean? Honestly, Hakeem too, right? But Defensive Player of the Year. But the difference between, LeBron and Shai would be LeBron was on the super team. Shai's team was organically grown. So his back-to-back MVPs and Finals MVPs is going to hold more weight than the ones LeBron did in Miami. And then if you go past, LeBron's Miami days, the last person to do it would be Michael Jordan. Like, that's how crazy it is. So you got to, that's the league of people that Shai would be entering when doing that. Back-to-back MVPs, back-to-back Finals MVPs. Yeah, even if I'm not sure on Hakeem with that, but the thing is that I hadn't made it to Hakeem's years. Hakeem won in 94 and 95. I said the last person to do it if Shea pulls it off this year, would be LeBron, which was 2012. I hadn't made it there yet, but I'm not sure if Hakeem won back-to-back MVPs. I don't think he did. What's good, DeMarcus? If Kyrie would have stayed in Cleveland, who knows? What do you mean with that? Magic may have done it, but you got to think about it. Magic was in the 80s. Again, I hadn't gotten there. I didn't go back that far. I was saying the first to do it since. So Shea would be the first person to do it since LeBron James. Like I said, LeBron was the last to do it. So I think if Shea pulls this off, he absolutely, I think he belongs in the top 20 minimum. He pulls this off, he's automatically in top 20, in my opinion. Because this is another score. This is, hold on. I think he won the scoring title last year, so he got a scoring title under his belt. He averaged 30 points per game while shooting 55% from the field. The first guard ever to do that. Then back-to-back number one seeds in the league. He's gonna more than likely probably end up winning the Clutch Player of the Year award. I mean, we know that that's a newer award, so that's something that Kobe, Michael Jordan, players like that didn't have a chance to win. But still, we're just saying all of the things that this dude is accomplishing, and he's doing it while not being on the super team. That's another thing that's very important. Shout out to my boy DeMarcus. He said, could you see Ja Morant and Kawhi Leonard playing together next season? Playing together in what team? On what team? Because I'm actually positive that Ja Morant is going to be moved this year. We can just tell about everything that's going on. Ja Morant is going to be moved this summer, more than likely. And as far as Kawhi, with what's going on and with the Clippers, he's more than likely going to be moved too. So in order for that to happen, both of them will have to get moved to the same team. So I would say the likelihood of it isn't too great unless Ja comes. Let's say Ja gets traded to the Clippers and Steve Ballmer and all of them decide, okay, let's just keep Kawhi and let's see what we can do with Ja. But I don't think that makes any sense because you have Darius Garland there already. You don't need Ja if you got Darius Garland. You saying LeBron probably wouldn't have went to the Lakers if he had Kyrie? I don't know. It's possible, but I think LeBron is the type of guy. Once he gets in his head, he think he can't win, he's leaving. And as long as Kevin Durant was over there in Golden State, I don't think LeBron felt like he could beat them. So he may would have dipped before that. He may would have still dipped out. I'm not sure. Also, too, would say he's probably one of the guards I've seen recently that's dominant on both. Yeah, Shea is the last guard since Kobe Bryant to be dominant on both sides of the court. Yeah. We don't see that too often anymore. Like we got a lot of all-time greats, really good guards, but they don't typically be good on both sides of the court. The last one we had would be Kobe, and then Dwayne Wade. Both of them were, really good on both sides of the court. But as for outside of them two, I'm trying to think of someone else that was elite on both sides. Right now, I can't really think of anyone. Nah, not really. Not super elite, like top 5 level. No. I hope that they don't snub Wemby for winning the MVP because he won. It's not a snub though, DeMarcus. He doesn't deserve it. I don't know why people are saying that he does. He doesn't deserve it. He deserves Defensive Player of the Year, which he got. He does not deserve MVP. They're going to give that clutch shit to Jalen Bronson. I don't know about that because I haven't even been hearing him in the running like that. But we'll see. Cavs, Hawks, Nuggets all win tonight. I don't think the Hawks are winning. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. I don't think they're winning. And I actually might take that the Nuggets will lose tonight as well. This could be what I want to happen more so. But also, I think the the Wolves were right there with them the first game. I keep saying Anthony Edwards has to step up and be that guy. He got to be a superstar. Like everybody keeps, putting him in that category, saying he's a superstar. Okay, show us. Show us that you're a superstar. Because I be seeing moments where he shrinks. I remember when folks was trying to call him Baby Jordan and shit, and I was like, y'all tripping. Because Michael Jordan don't shrink like that. Like saying Baby Jordan, that's a very, very high standard to withhold. Michael Jordan ain't scoring no 22 points on no week old Nuggets like that. That's crazy. The two expansion teams might be a possibility for them to play together. Okay, that makes sense. I can see that way. I didn't think about that, but yeah. As a Heat fan, Brian makes up his mind on leaving the team at least a year in advance. I agree with that. Yep. And like I said, once he seen Kevin Durant over there with Golden State and the way they dominated them in 2017, I think then he knew, yeah, it's time to jump ship. I ain't gonna be able to win. Ja Morant and Kawhi Leonard could play in Miami together. Well, I did hear some news that Miami is starting to actually pursue talent, like really go out to, because, including my boy Taj, if y'all familiar with Taj, I know Kenny and DeMarcus knows who that is. Miles may know too. But he always talks about, because he's from that area, how Miami's supposed to be a big destination for, players too, because they supposed to be kind of rivaling LA and New York. But he be treating them like, Miami just a regular team. And it's not. Like that's a destination where a lot of people would actually want to go as well. But he got to be making moves to put them in a position to, get those superstar players in Miami. What's your thoughts on Cade and Ant being ineligible, unlike Luka? Cade's not ineligible. So, and I didn't know Ant was ineligible. But I mean, shit, I agree with it. I'm sick of this shit. I think they need to continue it. I actually would go as far as saying they might need to up it up more. Because this new NBA is trash, bro. All these whiny crybaby ass players keep on complaining about it. Nigga, we're used to seeing players throughout. When I first started watching the NBA religiously. I started watching probably around that 2005 range, right? That's the range where I started watching it religiously, paying attention to all the games. During this time period of watching the NBA, I was never worried about, is my favorite player going to play tonight? Or even if it's, let's say, if it's not my team and I just want to watch some good NBA basketball. Let's say the Lakers and the Spurs are playing. I was never concerned, is Kobe playing tonight? Is Tim Duncan playing tonight? Is Ginobili playing tonight? I knew they were playing. The only way they weren't playing is if they were injured. And if they were injured, you knew they were injured. It wasn't this bullshit that they're doing now where these players just mysteriously getting injured at practice and shit. You don't see it. And they robbing the people out of their money. That's what's happening. And I told people, the last live, 2019, when they implemented, 18, when they implemented to allow sports betting to the NBA, it killed it. Because that's why you're seeing all these mysterious injuries happening. It has nothing to do with these folks getting hurt. It has to do with they're purposely having these players sit out so that they can fuck up the betting odds and steal our money. That's what's happening. I agree. Wemby's not winning MVP yet, and he doesn't deserve it. Not yet. You're right, Kenny. I didn't think the Magic was going to win. And when you said what you just said, I absolutely considered that. He was right last time. But I'm still going to say what I got to say. Nobody said the number one seed guarantees a ship. I don't know why you're saying that. You're saying the Wolves don't have enough firepower, but I think they do. They just need Anthony Edwards to play like Anthony Edwards. He got to step up and be a superstar. Will the Suns win game 2? Shit, I hope so. But after they whoop our ass that first game, it's looking pretty slam. Yeah, see, Miles, I agree with that. So how I look at it, I agree with the 65 game rule. 100% agree with it. But the thing is like, I think it should be very, very minimum exceptions to the rule. And I think what happened to Cade Cunningham kind of should be an exception. Luka should not have gotten that exception. I don't give a fuck. He shouldn't have. I know they said he had something about the birth of one of his kids. That makes sense. I can understand that. But what about the other guys? These players be purposely sitting out these games, people. They're doing the shit on purpose because they're privileged motherfuckers that's taking advantage of what's going on. Now, Cade, there's nothing he could do about that. I think his lungs collapsed or something like that. That's very serious. You can give him a pass for something like that. Yeah, legalizing gambling absolutely ruined the sports, 100%. I just noticed I can go a little longer because don't nobody really care about this Raptors Cavaliers game, and the Hawks Knicks game don't start until 5:00. So got a little bit more time than I thought. My opinion, I agree with you, Emmanuel. Cade is the only one that should have been excused. What you're saying, DeMarcus, makes sense for them to do it. It could happen. Ja Morant and Kawhi Leonard in Miami. That sounds like a good combination. And then under a good coach with Eric Spoelstra, it makes sense. So, yeah, hold on. Are you saying KD is out for game 2 as well? But it's 100% rigged. 100%. And only fruity LeBron fans, Brian Setchels more so, I'll say, are, you know, are acting like they don't see it, that it's rigged. There's no way in the world you can tell me this dude bumped into somebody's knee at practice, and that's why he's side out. Come on, bro. It's bullshit. You said Spo is losing his way. Spo haven't had much talent either, though, bro. You got to think about that. He's been competitive for a very long time without having talent. The Miami Heat hasn't had much talent since Miami left. I mean, since the LeBron, Wade, and Bosh trio, to keep it 100. The Jimmy Butler era was cool, but that team wasn't that talented. Jimmy Butler during that time was what? Maybe top 10 in the NBA. I don't even think he was that. Maybe in the playoffs he kind of emerged to top 10, but during the regular season, bro, he was maybe top 15. And he's your best player. So they didn't have much talent. I agree with you on the KD shit. But what I'm trying to tell you is that they're rigging it now. Prior to this sports gambling shit, yeah, Kevin Durant never would miss a game. Unless it was a serious injury. But what I'm telling you now is that the NBA are making calls now. They're saying, hey, you're injured now. End of story. You're injured. And now, you're injured and now you have to sit your ass out and let the outcome happen. Whatever happens, happens. They're doing that shit. But yeah, Brian Sexton be out of their mind. They know good damn well they can't beat them for without no damn Luka in the AR. Or just be saying shit. Well, I'm gonna let you have that because I don't watch the Heat's game like that to really know that part. You could be correct. But anyways, let me go ahead and I'm gonna go and touch on this Magic and Heat and Pistons situation. Now, I personally did not watch the game. I didn't even look at the stats of what happened yesterday. Let me check the stats out now. So Banchero had 23. Looked like it was spread. It was an all-out effort. The whole starters lit them up. 23, 19 for Wagner. Carter had 17. Bain had 17. And Suggs had 16. So yeah, the starting lineup just lit their ass up. And then look at the Pistons. Tobias Harris, he had 17, but he didn't shoot well. 5 for 15. It's pretty bad. Duncan Robinson, 9 points. I mean, that's all right for him, I suppose. Jaren Duran, you got to do better than that. 8 points, 7 rebounds. It's terrible. Cade Cunningham had 39 and 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Pretty damn good, obviously. And then Amon Thompson, only 8 points. Yeah, they got to do better than that. But see, for me, the reason why I thought the Pistons would be okay, because I did, question since Cade was out, they chemistry could slightly be off and things of that nature. But I was like, the Magic aren't that good. And then on top of that, because a lot of people were saying they don't believe in the Pistons and stuff like that, And it does make sense, but this is the reason why I still thought the Pistons would be okay. And I'm still not saying the series is over. But the reason why I thought the Pistons would be okay is because they're one of the best defensive teams. And like Oklahoma City, last year everyone was saying that about Oklahoma City, saying saying that they weren't going to win because of experience. And what I said is that now Oklahoma City is going to be okay because they're stellar defensively. Defense takes you a long way. Because this is the thing. Offensively, once the coaches and stuff strategize on how to stop, let's say, a star player defensively, let's say you're about to guard, well, let's use Oklahoma City, for instance. The defensive team that they're going against, strategy could be a plan to neutralize Shea, right? Because he's obviously the biggest threat out there. Even if you find a way to kind of slow down Shea, which actually the Suns we did. I think Shea shot 5 for 18. So we did a pretty good job defensively on him. He did not convert a lot of shots. He made a lot of fucking free throws. But as far as his shooting percentage, he didn't shoot well at all. But here's the thing. On the defensive side of things, your defense isn't going to change. You can't strategize on how to stop them from playing good defense. You can kind of strategize on, okay, this is what type of defense they typically play. This is how you're going to try to get through their defense. You can do that. But, if they're going to bring the defensive intensity, they're going to bring the defensive intensity. It's only so much you can do. You just can try to find out ways to, get through, to break down the defense. But defense is always going to be there. That's what I'm saying. When you got players that hustles as hard as Oklahoma City's players hustle, and they have the will to defend the way they defend, you're going to always be in a good place. So even if your shots aren't falling, if you play good defense, make the opposing team turn the ball over a lot, you'll get your points off that. So that's why I knew Oklahoma City last year when I was saying people were telling me they're gonna get beat by somebody. I was like, nah, their defense is too good. And I was right about that. And I was thinking the same rules would apply for the Pistons. But like I said, it's only one game. I'm still not counting them out yet. Now, obviously, if they lose this next one, game 2, then it's over, more than likely. It's very rare that you see a team lose 2 home games and come back to win the series. But Duran has to average a double-double. I agree. Duran, he definitely has to do better. There's no way in hell you can have no 8 points. What was it? 7 what the fuck do you have? 8.7 rebounds. That's absolutely unacceptable. Now, perhaps it was because their defense didn't hold up and the Magic were just hot. Let's look at their percentage. I mean, not really. No, they didn't shoot well. Well, Carter did. That nigga shot 8 for 9. Wagner shot pretty well. Banchero shot pretty well. But Bain shot terrible. Suggs shot terrible. Yeah, overall, I would say the team, it looked like they shot well. So it is kind of hard to rebound when the team's not missing. But either way, they're gonna have to find a way defensively to lock that shit up. And Duran, he's gonna have to give us, well, I'm saying us like I'm a Pistons fan. I'm not. He's gonna have to give them, I would say, minimum like a 15 and 12. Like you need to be having a game like that. Magic love to play slow and physical and great defensively. It's the same play style as the Pistons, except they have multiple creators. Again, I don't watch too much of the Pistons or the Magic to really know all of that. I just know the Pistons excelled defensively. Now, Kenny, I remember you saying that the reason why you didn't trust the Pistons is because outside of Cade, they don't really have any shot creators, and that's pretty much what you're saying now. And it might be a lot of truth to it. Like I said, I'm gonna try to check out game 2 to see what I see, to see if it's some validity to that. But that might be the case. Do you think the Pistons could still come out on top, or do you think they some? I'm guessing you're asking, do they need some adjustments? Like I say, I haven't watched the game to really know. I would have to watch it. I haven't watched any highlights or nothing. Now, if you're gonna ask me, do I think they can come out of the East? No, I never thought they could come out of the East. I just thought they would be fine against the Magic. The team I got coming out of the East is the Celtics, and I said that right after the All-Star break. So, Emmanuel, you're making a good point right now. You said I think the Pistons wasn't mentally ready. They wanted the Hornets. So this is another reason why I can't stand the play in. The moment I saw the rules of the play in, I was like, this is stupid. The reason why I'm saying this is because why the fuck would you have a play in that or have any kind of rules that isn't in favor of your best team in the league? That doesn't make sense. Think about this. The Oklahoma City had the number one record in the league and in the West. The Detroit Pistons had the second. Well, no, they had the third best record, but the number one in the East, right? Think about this. If there's a play-in happening, you don't know who the fuck you're playing. And that fucks you up. Like, for instance, in the Pistons, in this situation, it's the Pistons. You might think, okay, maybe we're gonna play the Hornets. Let's say they think the Hornets is gonna excel in the play-in. So that's the team that they're strategizing for, right? But turns out, nope, it's the Magic. And now you got to hurry up and try to go back to the drawing board and plan for the Magic. You only had one day to plan for it, opposed to how it used to be. Soon as the playoffs start, you get like a week off, almost a week off. You know exactly who you're playing. So as the number one seed, you strategize on how to beat the number 8 seed. But now the number one seed and the number 2 seed is at a disadvantage. The two top teams in the conferences are at a disadvantage now because they don't know who they're playing. Actually, the three in the first round, the 3 seed kind of has the best position because they ain't got to worry about that. They know they're playing the 6 seed. That's crazy. I don't know why the fuck they did that like that. That's dumb. But what it is, well, let me say I don't know why. I do know the reason. The reason why they did it because they're greedy and they wanted to get out more money. That's what it is. Having 2 extra days of playing equals more money for them. It's all about greed. Make no sense is the premise to save the budget and save money nowadays and for entertainment purposes. Yeah, I think the Pistons will still win the series too. I think what just happened the first game, I'm gonna just classify that as a fluke. They probably will come pretty strong and beat them by 10 plus points this next game. You see Cleveland coming out of the East, that's crazy work because I can guarantee you that won't happen. Cleveland ain't going nowhere. I'm going to tell you this right here. Any team with James Harden on it ain't going nowhere. That's almost the rules and regulations to to the NBA. If James Harden on your team, you ain't going nowhere because that fool gonna joke. Celtics absolutely coming out the East. That's who's doing it. Anyways, though, let's see what time it is. 4:42. We'll go ahead and go to this last topic. What series you think will most likely be an upset? You're talking about in this first round, right? To me, I think the biggest team in danger of getting upset. Let me think about this again. Make sure I'm. I mean, obviously, it looks like there's a possibility of the shit Pistons right now because they lost their first game, but I think they're still going to be fine. But outside of that, if you want to call this an upset, I would say the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. I think the Timberwolves could beat them. Please save this one. Cleveland goes to the finals. Hey, Emmanuel, if Cleveland end up going to the finals, brother, I will personally shout you out and say, yeah, my boy said it. And he called it. There's no way in hell I saw it could have ever dreamed of this happening, but he called it. You said Tatum will re-injure himself. Now, if that happens, honestly, even if that happened, I'm still not sure the Cavaliers can take the Celtics without him. Harden ain't going nowhere. That nigga trash. If the Magic eliminate the Pistons, that'll be a pretty big upset. Not a huge one, but it'll be a nice upset. I'm sure nobody was betting on it. Now, if some kind of way the Suns could upset the Thunder, which is obviously what I would love to see the most, that would be a huge upset. Like that would go down in history as one of the biggest upsets ever if that happened. But obviously, we don't think this happened. We ain't losing in 03, nigga. Lakers would be an upset if they beat the. No, I don't think so. That's not an upset. That's just them winning. I don't know. Yeah, y'all trying to give the Lakers too much credit on shit. I keep telling people the Lakers have a better team than Houston. I don't know why the hell y'all think they don't. Lakers have the Houston Rockets don't have anybody. That's why I keep telling you, all of them folks are frauds. Outside of Kevin Durant, nobody on the goddamn Rockets is legit. The only other person I would say that's legit outside of Kevin Durant, he's injured, which is Fred VanVleet. Now, if he would have been playing, it'd have been a different story. Hey, I agree with your hot take they ain't getting no sweep this time. This first round, they ain't. Let me see. In the second round, they're gonna end up meeting the winner between the Lakers and the Wolves. I mean, the Lakers and the Rockets. Honestly, to keep it 100 with you, the Lakers, the Thunder might sweep the Lakers or the Rockets. I can see them sweeping either one. I'm being honest. Sengun is not legit. I don't give a fuck what no one says. He's a fraud. The only reason why he looked like he was as good as he was looking is because, for one thing, the league is soft now. I keep telling people, all the people y'all think is so good, they're not that good. Including Nikola Jokic. It's good. Even though Nikola Jokic is good, he's not as good as y'all think he is. The problem is the league is soft. You can't do nothing to them. You can't touch them, so they're allowed to do a lot of things that they wouldn't be able to do if they played in another era. But in the playoffs, they do allow a little bit more physicality than they do in the season. That's why you see these same players shrink a little bit in the playoffs. Like, I'm going to watch Nikola Jokic tonight. He might do well. But in the first half, Rudy Gobert was getting real physical with him and was locking his shit up. In the fourth quarter, he kind of got it going a little bit, so it helped his stats look better than what it was. But if you watch the entirety of that game, Rudy Gobert was on his ass. And Sengun, the only reason why he looked so good last year against the Warriors is because they had no size. It was nobody there to stop him. He was the only near 7-footer on the floor. And keep in mind, they was playing Steven Adams as well, so that was hurting them. The Warriors' tallest person on the court was like 6'7", 6'8". Jimmy Butler was the tallest player. So that's why Sengun was killing like that. Not because he was just so good. He was taking advantage of a small team. Talia was good. You saw Dylan hit Chet. He giving that old school energy. Yeah, I saw that shit. I fuck with my boy Dylan for real. Like I said, Dylan, my boy, he one of them people that if you fucking him up, he gonna touch you. Like, calm your motherfucking dad down doing all that damn serving. And I like niggas like that. Dylan going, and I'm gonna say this about Dylan, y'all. I would love to see him do it with Phoenix, but I think Dylan gonna get him a ring before he retires. Because those type of guys tend to just find a way to win. They just gotta be placed in the right environment so it can happen. Like Dylan is kind of like those Dennis Rodmans, the Draymond Greens, the Meta World Peace, or Ron Artestas. Them guys that do the dirty work. They can give you some scoring. Rodman wasn't really a scorer, but he was a terrific rebounder. But those guys that do the dirty work. Those kind of guys that you need. I see Dylan getting him a ring. And also, it's very unfortunate, but I'm pretty sure Dylan isn't 100% right now. He's trying to play through it, but that hand is still bothering him, I believe. The Lakers was doubling Sengun before because the Lakers suck defensively. That's why. The Lakers ain't, and then think about it, the Lakers ain't got no size really either. What's his name? Jackson Hayes. He's got some height, but that nigga soft, thin, not really good like that. DeAndre Ayton, same thing. He's kind of thin and he's soft. As much as I hate to say it. And why wouldn't they double Sengun? That's the question you should be asking. The rest of them, Şengün, what I'm saying is I don't think Şengün is a great player like y'all trying to put him out there to be. I think he's cool. I'm not saying he's trash. He's not. But he's not all that. I think he's a good player, not a great one. So with that being said, I think he's a good player, and I think Thompson and the other cat that y'all was mentioning, they're okay. They're not all that. The Lakers, they got LeBron. LeBron is obviously still a good player. He's the best on the floor right now. And then Luke Kennard, pretty good goddamn player, as you seen the other night. DeAndre Ayton is a good player. If he wants, he's mediocre. I'll say he's solid. I'll say that. Because he's very mediocre. That nigga, sometimes he show up and do pretty well, then sometimes he just collapse. So it is what it is with that nigga. But Rui is a very solid player. He's pretty consistent on what he does. What he brings, he's going to bring that on a consistent night. And then this is another thing that should let you know how pathetic the Rockets' offense really is. The Lakers' defense is trash, people. The fact that they only scored 98 points against a trash Lakers team lets you know them motherfuckers are ass. They're not as good as y'all trying to portray them to be. And this is coming from somebody who's going for the Rockets. I'm hoping the Rockets can win. Dylan should have stayed in Memphis. Well, Dylan wanted to stay in Memphis. It wasn't his choice. They let the dumbass narrative with this thing with LeBron push him out of Memphis. It wasn't Dylan's fault they lost to the Lakers. It wasn't at all. It was just a dumb narrative that was spread, and they bid on it and traded him like a dumbass. Do you think the Warriors will resign Kerr? Honestly, I'm going to say no. I don't think they will. John Morant and Steph Curry. I mean, it would be cool if the plan is to, eventually let John Morant takes over post Steph Curry. Yeah, that'd be cool. I think. Trade Jimmy for Josh? Sure, for the Warriors' sake, that'll be probably a good idea. But why the fuck would the Grizzlies do that? On the way the Grizzlies, that I could see possibly one to do that is to get that expiring contract, because that is a huge amount of money that they can get off their books. And I think the contract, I'm not sure what John Morant's contract is looking like right now, but it's probably close to the same. They can get rid of that money. Yeah, I definitely saw Draymond lock up Kawhi. Well, I'm not saying Steph and Ja would be great together. I'm not saying that's a great combination. I don't think so. But here's the thing. Steph Curry's older. Steph Curry's on his last legs. He can retire any time now. You got to, if you want to secure your future, maybe getting John Morant won't be a bad idea, is what I'm saying. John Morant is still pretty young. But yeah, we know we got the Knicks. We got the Knicks and the Hawks playing, and we got the game that I'm more so interested in, the Wolves and the Nuggets. What y'all got with them? I'm gonna go with the Wolves taking down the Nuggets tonight. think Anthony Edwards is gonna finally show up. Well, he's gonna show up today. Probably drop anywhere between 32 points. I say Julius Randle probably will have a solid game. Not a great one, but a solid one. Anywhere between 18, 22 points. And I could actually see a game where Nikola Jokic is probably going to have a pretty good one, but I think Jamal might not. Because Jamal played pretty well the first game. I think maybe he'll calm down and just have an average game tonight. And the Wolves will be able to pull it off. What injury is Ed playing through? The reason why teams didn't want to trade for Giants because of the hype, the NBA with their bullshit. The NBA be having this bullshit where we kind of talked about this a little while ago. I think I think the league wanted to make John Morant the face of the league, but being the face of the league comes with a lot of bullshit. And I think John Morant wasn't willing to do it. So they ended up tarnishing his name, creating bullshit narratives, saying he's a problem child, basically. So, a lot of teams don't want to touch him. That's what I believe happened with him. Yeah, I gotta realize the NBA is not just a sport; it's a business. My bad. Hold up. Hold on, Emmanuel. You from Memphis? Shit, I am too, nigga. What part? Nuggets will go up 2-0. Okay, nothing with his something with his knees. Same exact injury that kept Curry out this year. Damn. But that ain't good. When you say they did right here, what do you mean? What were you referring to? They tried the same thing with Iverson. It's up to Ja. Yeah, I agree, George. They tried it with Iverson. They also tried it with Derrick Rose. Same shit. They be trying to force these motherfuckers to do they bullshit, and they don't be wanting to do it. That's what's happening. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to say nothing about it, or you'll get canceled. They'll find a way to, spread a bunch of bullshit lies and narratives about your name, and really fuck you up then. I'm trying to put my picks in. That's why I'm going back and forth, going silence. Trying to get these picks in before this damn game come out. You said Robert was doing a good job defense. I'm guessing you meant Rudy. I think the Knicks going up 2-0 as well, not DeMarcus. Do you do the series predictions like who will go to the finals or conference? I normally do it. I didn't do it this year, and I still got time to do it, but it's just so damn hard to predict, especially with the sports gambling bullshit going on. But because it's not going to be solely based on they talents, it's going to be based on what the fuck they trying to do to manipulate money. Houston or Minnesota are in win now mode because Trey Young wouldn't be in DC. I don't get what's the connection with Trey Young there. The Lakers were supposed to sweep Iverson in 01 finals 2. I don't know about that. If I'm the Knicks, I wouldn't want Zion. I'll say that. There's a nigga's a bust, a fat ass, lazy nigga that all he care about is eating and getting hoes. That nigga's not serious. Did you lose any money on the Thunder versus Suns? Hell yeah. The fuck? Oh, you're saying both teams are missing a point guard. Yeah, really. But Houston has a point guard. They're just injured. They got Van Fleet. Kind of crazy how you don't have a lot of backup point guards. Like, once upon a time, all the teams had a backup PG. But now, with this positionless basketball bullshit is going on, sometimes you don't have 2 point guards. Yep, definitely going live after the Denver and Minnesota guy. Sure is. Make a small bet that the Celtics win it all? Nope. Because I think it's a possibility that could happen. So I'm not gonna make that bet with you. It would be interesting if John Morant get traded to the Knicks next season. Big market for him. But I don't think a lot of the time when you be saying stuff, it don't be aligning with the you got to pay attention to who's there. The Knicks is not going to want John Morant when they have Jalen Brunson. It doesn't make sense. Now Miami, that could work because they don't have a point guard really. Ja to Orlando. That'd be all right. Fuck that Ja to Phoenix. Come your ass to Phoenix. We need you. Ja to Phoenix. We ain't got no point guard. Team up with D Book and your former teammate Dylan Brooks. Come help us get some. Yeah, that bro. If Ja and Book teamed up, they'll have a hell of a backcourt. Real shit. They backcourt to be tough. I'm gonna fuck with my boy Rudy Gobert tonight, y'all. My boy Rudy Gobert finna turn up on Jokic. He's sick of this shit. Come on, Rudy. I'm rooting for you. Matter of fact, I might go live doing the Knicks and Knicks and the Nuggets game, do live reaction. I'm gonna be live doing that motherfucker. That's what I'm gonna do. Brooklyn or Sacramento or Indy would suck for that nigga. Nigga, it do have to make sense. You're trying to win. You play the game to win. And if you got Ja Morant and Jalen Brunson, that's not a winning recipe. First off, you're gonna be too small. Second, neither one of them are good defensively. And their play style doesn't match because Jalen Brunson is a very ball dominant player. It doesn't work in any measures. It doesn't make sense. Stop it. Then you got two big superstars. You gonna have to deal with egos. Both of them playing two players that play the same position, battling each other for who's gonna be the top dog at the point guard position. I mean, they can do it, but it would be stupid. It wouldn't work. But I can guarantee you it's not gonna happen because it just simply doesn't fit. But anyways, though, people, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here. I'm gonna be back after this Knicks and Hawks game. Cause I think I might go live for this for this Nuggets and Wolves, Jack. But I'm gonna catch y'all probably in the next 2 hours.